that's kind of where I find myself here with Raheem Morris being on the coaching hot seat. I find myself asking whose fault it really is when things go wrong. So when we hired a guy that had a losing record, and he continues to have a losing record after we hired the guy, whose fault is it? I mean, the guy is just doing just as it with Penix's injury history, and we're still continuing along our line of the worst, most predictable dumpster fire out here. And when you're seeing stuff like this happen, whose fault is it? Going back to my same example, the person not paying you back, man, you've lent that person money a lot. The person hasn't paid you back before. They don't pay you back this time, but you're like, man, I thought this time was different, man. You got a job this time. I've seen you kind of like working it out, man. Like I really thought that this time, maybe the time you pay me back, and the person is just like, oh, well, they're just not able to do it. So, is this Fondo hired a coach? Who hires the coach? Is it the GM that hires the coach?
Yeah, I mean, it's GM, owner. You have all those factors into it, but yeah, I mean, it ultimately falls on the GM because the GM. I know everyone's trying to blame the owner. I mean, for the most part, I think Arthur Smith stays out of it. He wants to. I mean, he's from the Home Depot world. I think he understands the
Arthur Blank.
Arthur Blank. What I say, Arthur Smith. Sorry, Arthur Blank. Yeah, Arthur Blank. I think he understands that dynamic that he cannot control. I mean, he tries to put smart people in the right position. So, I think he's obviously signing off on it, but I mean, he's leaning on the GM for this. But you're right. I mean, Raheem, he wasn't a good. Here's the thing. It's okay not to be a good NFL coach. It's okay because we've seen he's a good coordinator. There's no knocking that. The guy can coach the crap out of your defense. He could be your defensive coordinator. He can be that piece in your defense, that whisper on the defensive side. But when you're watching the team play, just the special teams, just how to sync some things are, and I don't know. I don't know much of what what he does on the coaching side of it. It's just from what you're watching on a Sunday, he just looks outmatched from just a couch potato guy watching, couch surfing guy, whatever. I just don't see elite coaching from him.
Wow.
From a starting coach, defensive side, yes. You be your defensive coordinator. He's won what? I think he's been part of 2 Super Bowl championship teams on the defensive side, but he's proven himself, right? He's proven what he is. Mm-hmm. His record is what he is. It's a losing record as a coach, as an NFL coach. I like him. He's a nice guy, but he doesn't say anything. He says something. He says the same thing in the press conference. Got to find a way to win. But we still keep doing the same things out there, and we had that Carolina game in our hands last week. In our hands.
Yeah, losing it twice to Carolina alone should put you on the hot seat here in Atlanta. But from a coaching record, Falcons is 12-16, but his combined record at 29-47.
Right.
So it's just stressful because I remember saying this is one where I did also say that I was not feeling it because of the record. And if anything happens, because when anything goes wrong, who can you really blame, Eugene? Like, whose fault is this? It's really, you hired a guy that had a losing record to begin with. The players kind of cape for him. Defense is great. I wouldn't mind hiring him as a defensive coordinator, but you have a losing record as a coach. And I've seen it. And we've seen it. We've seen it here in Atlanta. We've seen it up close. We hire you back. You're losing again. I mean, whose fault is it? I think it's our fault, man.
Yeah, it's our fault.
Ourselves.
Yeah.
I think we got to blame ourselves here, man. This has been predictable. From the sense that I think sometimes you try to talk yourself into certain results and you say, hey, well, the defensive players kind of like who's a defensive guy, he's can work on our defense, has been a point of need for us. Here's a guy who a lot of players vouch for the guy. I remember when we were going through the hiring process, a lot of players say, hey, man, play hard, but it's not. I mean, players can vouch for you, but I don't know if I ever thought that players didn't like you when you were losing before. Like, is this a situation that's changed something? Like players, I would imagine, vouched for you then. I mean, I don't think he's a bad guy from what people are saying, and people aren't.
No, he's not a bad
saying
guy.
that he was a tyrant back then. If players liked you then, and these were your results, what changes now? Players probably, I would hope still like you, but your results are still consistently what they are. Right. And a lot of times when you like players and you like human beings, you make excuses for their bad results while you try to downplay people's actual good results.
There you
know,
go.
You'll look at the truth and you'll downplay it. This guy, you'll say stuff like, oh, well, he had this help, or he cheating and stuff like that because you don't like the guy, and you got another guy who's losing and you make every excuse in the world for the guy. Sometimes your record is just what you are. I'm not saying that he couldn't maybe turn it around, but I don't understand why he would deserve that chance when other people would be out here who didn't have losing records. You know what I mean? It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and it's okay. I mean, we've seen it so many times. Him, Robert Saleh. You know, how many times did the Patriots? His name escaped me. The offense coordinator got chances again.
McDaniel, Josh McDaniel.
Josh McDaniel, thank you. Got two chances, right? With the Denver, with the Raiders, but he's back with the Patriots. And again, look at their offense, and so it's not a bad thing. But again, if he's already proven to you what he is, it's like, why retread? You have there's other people out there, you could have given this chance to. And the crappy thing is, I was looking back at this draft. So Penix was taken 8th. Do you remember who was taken 9th?
I'm gonna look. I know Bo Nix went after him.
But no, I'm just talking about the next player that was taken right after him.
I don't know
was Adonis. So you could have drafted him right there in that spot, and you gave Kirk Cousins 2 weapons right away. With London on the one side and Rome on the other side. So you could have played that part too. You gave Kurt 2 amazing wide receiver weapons. And maybe that's different. Maybe it ends differently. But I don't know. I just want to say, like, okay, get the quarterback and get the coach. Just figure those two things out. I don't understand why it's so hard.
Yeah, because it was Adunze, it was McCarthy at 10, Bo Nix at 12. And Nix is really the only guy on there I can see that I would say I would have taken. But I would have to go back and see how I felt about Nix, because I really didn't start to come on to Nix till preseason. I really liked how he was looking in preseason, and I came onto the Nix train at that point.
Right.
But he's the only person that I can see here because the Falcons, unless we had moved up to try to get Drake May, who went 3rd.
Right.
And we had to move up 5 spots. I don't know if that's really possible. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if that's possible or not. But Drake May is like the only reachable guy. I don't think Jaden Daniels would have been reachable.
No,
would have went before Drake May.
No.
But it's hard to say that being that a guy went 5 spots ahead of you is pretty difficult to say that. But Bo Nix was there. Makes some teams look silly right now. And if Shedeur ends up being the guy, he's gonna make some teams look silly as well. So we'll see how that turns out. But I don't feel sorry for us here, man. I think we gotta kind of take our lumps here, Eugene. Like, we gotta be adults here, man, and take our lumps. I mean, we should have. I mean, I think there's a good chance that by the end of the season, depending on how this goes, Raheem is out of here, and the fan base seems to want him out of here right now.
Yeah, I think
probably just coming off the Carolina loss, man. You know, fan base doesn't like those divisional losses, man. They seem to want him out of here immediately.
Especially when we're up, we're winning that game, and just like we just need a couple stops, and then losing overtime. It's just one of those. It's just one of those things. It's like, here we go again, and now we got to watch Kirk Cousins. So yeah, I would not be surprised. End of the year, they clear house. Coach, GM, both gone, which is fine. I think it's what you want. You're right. You want a new GM to come in and go, assess it differently. You don't want him to be beholden to the whatever quarterbacks are in that room, or whatever's left that room. You want that to be a fresh look, and get a good coach. Don't get a college coach. Get somebody, do and hire an outside service. Not a bad idea. Everyone does it. Hire consultants to do your coaching search for you, and lean on that consultant firm to name your coach, and just try that out. Try it out, see what happens. But no more retreads. I've heard Lane Kiffin mentioned, don't want that person. I've heard John Gruden. I don't want that person here either. I want something different. I want, if it's hardball, that's the only one I would take. I just don't think Baltimore's that stupid.
No, wait. No, none of the Harbaughs. Neither one of the Harbaughs.
Well, I'm thinking of John. I'm just thinking. I know. I've heard like Baltimore. I've heard like tiny rumors about him. I'm just saying if that's the type of coach, I'm talking about retread. That's the kind of coach I want.
Yeah, it would have to be a coach that team is dumb enough to fire. Like if you're dumb enough to fire John Harbaugh, sure, absolutely. That seems like a. But here's the thing about being dumb enough to fire John Harbaugh. If the Ravens were dumb enough to do that, I think you would see other teams where coaches were on the hot seat. That hot seat would get accelerated immediately. Like those coaches would be, if teams knew that John Harbaugh was remotely available, and they got a coach that they feel iffy about, it's going to get a lot hotter, a lot quicker. You know what I mean? Because people be looking to snatch him up, and that's pretty much going to get you out of there. But it would be interesting to see if we kind of go in that direction. I'm thinking he might make it to the end of the year, but if he gets fired here in a week or two, I don't know. Maybe 12 bad losses to the Saints. We got to play the Saints again, right?
We got to play Saints. It doesn't matter. If he coaches the rest of the year, intern coach, I don't think it doesn't matter. We're not. There's no way we're making the playoffs. We're giving the Rams.
So are you on to fire him at the end of the year? Are you off the? So whether it's beginning where there's now or whether it's at the end of the year, are you off the Raheem Morris train?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm off. Once that Carolina loss, I was kind of off before then, but a Carolina loss was just like I'm done. We're just done. Let's just this chapter's done. We tried, we failed. Like you said, let's be human beings about this and move on.